You're probably a Ferrari lover or a car fanatic who might think he knows everything about Ferrari. But think again. Here you have a list of celebrities. Now try and pick out which ones are banned from ever owning a Ferrari again. I bet you're thinking maybe one or two? Well, you're wrong. They're all actually banned and placed on Ferrari's do not sell list. Surprised? Well, I sure know I was. Just like this, we brought you 8 mind-blowing facts that people rarely know about Ferrari. Make sure to watch till the end, since we'll reveal another secret on how Ferraris are actually made with pineapples. Let's finish the celebrity ban list first. As some of you may know, Ferrari has a pretty extensive rulebook to go along with ownership, and if not followed down to a T, you will be placed on the ban list. Well, who's on the supposed ban list, you might ask? Some popular celebrities from the likings of Kim Kardashian, Justin Bieber, Floyd Mayweather, Nicolas Cage, and the list goes on. So, what does it take to be able to buy a Ferrari? Is it just a simple case of pulling up to the nearest dealership with a sufficient bank balance? Interestingly, the answer is no, as it takes far more than fame and money to be able to drive home with a Ferrari. Notably, Ferrari, as a car brand, is notorious for being very picky when it comes to selecting its customers. So the question is, what happens to these rules if they're not met? Well, allow Canadian pop sensation Justin Bieber to demonstrate. You see, it was not one, but a string of offenses that landed him on Ferrari's blacklist. First, the singer arranged for his Ferrari 458 Italia F1 edition to get customized by West Coast Customs. Originally white, he got it wrapped in an electric blue color. But possibly his biggest fault was tampering with the prancing horse logo on the front. While this most probably would have been enough to set Ferrari off, Justin also reportedly lost his Ferrari after a drunken night out in Los Angeles. It took his assistants 3 whole weeks to locate the car, and paired with his blatant disregard for Ferrari's customization limits, it was only natural for him to end up on their blacklist, despite the celebrity status. But Nicolas Cage's story will totally catch you off guard. You see, Cage ran into tax problems with the government, therefore needing to sell off most of his properties to pay off his debts. Having a Ferrari Enzo, a rare and high valuable sports car among his fleet of cars, he decided to put the car up for sale to leverage his debt. And this is where things would go wrong. He decided to sell the car for much less than it was actually worth. Ferrari executives weren't happy with such a decision, saying it devalued their brand. Hence, they placed a ban on Mr. Cage from ever buying another Ferrari. Bulletproof cars. If you take a look at the 288 GTO, you might not think twice. But this car is actually made out of Kevlar. You know, the same super strong material used to make bulletproof vests for police and military? The question is, why would Enzo come up with this design? The answer is pretty simple. They wanted a car that 1. Made it perform better on the track, and 2. Pushed the boundaries to find the most advanced lightweight solutions to maximize the 288 GTO's performance potential. They created the body panels for the 288 GTO that were way stronger than steel but much lighter in weight. This helped create a very fast and agile car. The lighter Kevlar plates let it accelerate quicker, turn sharper, and stop shorter. Using Kevlar was cutting-edge technology back in the 1980s, as not many auto manufacturers were experimenting with composites like that at the time. But Ferrari paved this way for composite materials like carbon fiber to become super popular on modern high-performance supercars from Ferrari and other brands, laying the foundation for the next generation of cars. The uneven logo. Next on our list is the uneven logo. You won't believe the origin story of this one. I'm sure as many of you may know the famous logo on Ferrari cars, but did you know it originally had nothing to do with the company? And that it's actually uneven? But we'll get into that in just a second. Back in the early 1900s, there was an Italian fighter pilot named Francesco Baracca, who flew planes in Italy for World War I. On the side of his plane, Baracca painted a black horse rearing up on its hind legs. This image was his personal emblem that he chose as a good luck charm. After the war ended, Enzo Ferrari, who was just starting his own race car business, met Baracca's parents. They thought that using this prancing horse logo would honor their brave son who had died in combat. So that's exactly what Enzo Ferrari did. He adopted it as their logo for Ferrari cars in 1932. He thought having a heroic war pilot symbol would bring good fortune. But if you look closely at this emblem, you'll notice something's off. It's actually shifted slightly off to one side. Whether you believe it or not, this is actually an intentional part of Ferrari's design philosophy. Enzo Ferrari himself stated that the horse logo slightly off-centered created a dynamic look, as it gives a sense of motion and energy even when the car is stationary. Now let's talk about Ferrari's secret underground base. You might think Ferrari just manufactures cars at their factory in Maranello, Italy, but underneath that facility, there's actually a hidden top-secret vault. This underground vault is like a fortress, with extremely tight security and surveillance to protect some of the most valuable and rarest Ferrari models ever made. So what's in this Batman-style vault, you might ask? Well, inside the vault, you'll find legendary cars like the 250 GTO from the 1960s, which of only dozens were built. There are crazy expensive one-off models made just for select mega wealthy clients and royalty. Only a handful of staff members have clearance to access the vault. It's climate controlled to protect the cars. But as far else as the security goes, nobody really knows. What do you guys think? Sensors? Lasers? Motion sensors? Who knows? Pineapples. Now, we all know pineapples are just used to eat on a hot summer day, right? Well, think again, as Ferrari uses these tasty fruits in their fleet of supercars. Ferrari is always looking for cutting-edge materials and technologies, even for something as simple as the leather trim inside their cars. Instead of just using regular animal leather, Ferrari has started incorporating a special eco-friendly leather alternative called anashi. Anashi, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, is made from the fibers extracted from pineapple leaves. After pineapples are harvested for food, their leftover leaves are collected and processed to extract the strong fibers inside. These pineapple fibers are then woven into a textile that mimics the look and feel of real leather. And there are tons of benefits from these. Some, just for an example, is using anashi helps reduce Ferrari's environmental impact compared to traditional tanning leather. Pineapple leaves are a renewable resource and byproduct of existing agriculture. Producing these leaves into fibers uses less energy, chemicals, and water than leather manufacturing. And the best part about this is, a lot of their customers aren't even informed on this, as using pineapple leaf upholstery looks the same and ages similar to genuine leather. For fact 7, we're talking about the number itself. The founder of Ferrari, Enzo Ferrari, was actually really superstitious when it came to certain numbers. In particular, he was not a fan of the number 7 and considered it very unlucky. Because of this strange superstition, you'll notice that no road cars for the general public has ever had a model with a number 7. For example, they skipped right from the 599 model to the 812. No 700 or 707 or anything like that. Enzo's dislike of 7 likely streamed from his childhood and getting teased about his name EN70, kind of sounding like the Italian word for 7. Or maybe 7 had been unlucky for him in some racing incidences over the years. Whatever the reason is, Enzo strictly avoided using 7 in any official Ferrari models. He thought labeling cars with a number could jinx their performance or success somehow. Well, almost childish, this is the reason you will never see a 7 Series Ferrari on the road, because of one man's superstition. And lastly, we are unveiling a secret member club. For most people, owning a Ferrari is a dream. But for Ferrari's ultra-wealthy customers, there's an even more exclusive club called the XXX program. This gives a small group of super rich owners the chance to buy some of the rarest and most extreme Ferraris ever made. The cars offered through the program are essentially road-going race cars. They're designed only for the use on closed racing circuits, not public streets. We're talking about ultra high performance hypercars with the most advanced aerodynamics, lightweight materials, and powerful engines Ferrari has ever produced. Only a handful of each program model is ever manufactured, making them extremely exclusive. Some notable examples would be the Ferrari FXXK with nearly 1,000 horsepower, and the radical Monza SP1 and SP2 speedsters. But the XX program is more about just owning an ultra rare car. The owners also get to attend private driving events hosted by Ferrari at their own test tracks and race circuits. It's a chance to push the purpose-built track cars to their limits, with instructions from Ferrari racers and race car drivers. So, what's the cost for entry? Most estimates peg the price of joining this program at over $3 million just for the privilege. But for the super rich with money to burn, it offers unlimited access to Ferrari's most extreme road legal race cars and experiences. So, that's my 8 interesting facts you might not have known about Ferrari. Ferrari is one of the most iconic and revered automotive brands in the world. But even as a Ferrari fan, you might have been surprised to learn about some of the company's quirky origins, design philosophies, and exclusive programs. So I want to know what you guys think. Would you join the nearly $3 million program? Or perhaps buy a car made out of pineapple? Or even a bulletproof one? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.